What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And since the Striker gear set finally got its fix in Title Update 16.1, I've been running with the thing non-stop. Therefore, today I wanted to highlight a build based around the Bullet King that has been so much fun to use. Now, if you happen to enjoy this video, do me a favor really quick and hit that like button. It really does help the channel out. You can feel free to subscribe or join as well. And as most of you know, we have giveaways here, but I will go over that information at the end of the video. Now, you can see by the footage, I'm on heroic difficulty, just running around the open world doing different open world activities. This is a build I use for control points and bounties. Now, one thing I mention at the beginning of every build video I put together is that there are so many different ways to run with a build like this. The most important thing is to truly take your time and make a build your own. And not only that, there may be a few pieces of gear that you do not have in this build, so I will give you a few variations as well. Now, for those of you that do not have the Bullet King, you can farm for it anywhere the LMG is a targeted loot, and I strongly recommend you try to pick this thing up. Also keep in mind as we get into the build breakdown, there are a lot of LMGs that hit a lot harder than this one. This one's a lot of fun because you don't have to reload it. However, you could use any LMG you want, throw on the talent Unhinged or Optimist, and again, you'll be putting out a ton of damage. So starting off as always with the Specialization, you want to use Gunner on this build for a bunch of different reasons. You have the Rive Foam Grenade, you're getting 10% armor on kill, every third reload is faster, you can use the Banshee Pulse if you want. You also get a rate of fire increase, you're going to get some extra weapon handling when you're in cover, and remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you get a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which weapon you're using. Needless to say, my primary weapon for this build is the Bullet King LMG. If you don't have it, like I said before, you can farm for it anywhere the LMG is the targeted loot. It has the talent Bullet Hell, where the weapon never needs to reload. And not only that, for every 100 bullets that hit an enemy, you're going to replenish ammo for yourself and your teammates as well, so that definitely does help out. Moving on to the secondary, it's the ACS-12 shotgun with the talent Close and Personal. Now, whatever you choose to use here is up to you, my friends. I love this shotgun, and I like having it just in case NPCs get a little too close. My sidearm is the TDI card with the talent Close and Personal. Honestly, I really don't use it with this build. Moving on to the gear, you can see I'm running 4 Strikers, 1 Petrov, and Sawyer's knee pads. Starting off with a mask, it's the first piece of Striker we have equipped, and we're running all 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. You can see 2-piece gives you 15% weapon handling, 3-piece is 15% rate of fire, and 4-piece is Striker's Gamble, which they finally made that improvement to, so now it hits harder than even before. Now, with all of these pieces, I'm trying to stack a combination when it comes to the attributes, either crit hit chance in weapon handling or crit hit damage in weapon handling. But weapon handling really is a key point of this build. And as we move on to the chest, which is the first piece of Petrov, so we have that 10% LMG damage, I'm using the talent Braced. While in cover, weapon handling is increased by 45%, and that makes this weapon shoot like an absolute laser beam. Now, there also happens to be a named version of this body armor. We'll go over that at the end of the build breakdown. Next, we have the Striker's Holster. Again, trying to stack crit hit damage here. That's the best I could do. I could change it to weapon handling, but I'm doing okay there. Next, we have the knee pads, which are Sawyer's knee pads. Absolutely love using these things. They do take a little while to get used to, and for those of you that do not have them, you can farm for them like before, anywhere the knee pads are the targeted loot. Now, they have the talent Stand Your Ground, where you cannot be staggered by explosions, and it increases your total weapon damage by 3% each second you are not moving, stacks up to 10 times, so if you're standing still for 10 seconds, you're getting a 30% weapon damage bonus. Next, we have the gloves, which are the third piece of the Striker's gear set equipped. We're stacking crit hit damage here, and again, try out different variations. You may want to add more weapon handling. It's totally up to you. We make our way to the bag. And this is the fourth and final piece of the Striker gear set. Now, since we're using the bag, we have the talent Risk Management, which increases the total weapon damage gain per stack of Striker's Gamble from 0.65 to 1%, so I'd much rather have that talent over the one on the chest. Now, for those of you that do not have Sawyer's knee pads, what I recommend doing is this: swap out your gloves for contractor's gloves, and then change that other piece, change your knee pad then to the other piece of Striker if you have it, and that way you'll also be getting that extra 10% weapon handling bonus from wearing that second piece of Petrov. As far as the skills go, I'm using the decoy skill as well as the assault drone because it is a great distraction to NPC and puts out damage as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's also a named version of the body armor, the Petrov body armor, that's going to give you the talent Perfectly Braced, and in order to get that, All you need to do is get the blueprint, which can be easily attained by completing Stage 2 of the Gunner Specialization. You defeat Lieutenant Kelly and you're totally good to go. Now, when you do have that blueprint, you need to then go to the crafting table and try to craft as many as you can, and hopefully you get one that has a decent roll. All of us know when you're trying to craft gear in this game, it's complete and total. I mean, it's a lottery. You never know if you're actually going to win or not. You can see here I got a pretty decent piece. What I'm going to do at this point is we're going to re-roll that skill damage. You can see it does have the talent perfectly braced, which gives you an extra 5% weapon handling bonus, which is absolutely great. And again, as I start to wrap this video up, you have a lot of options when it comes to this build. If you are really talented with an LMG, you may not need any of this extra weapon handling. But for me, because I'm starting to get used to this weapon, or not really used to it, because I'm starting to use the weapon more and more, I've found that the more weapon handling I have, obviously your aim is better, and with that, you're able to take targets out much faster. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have at the channel. So as always, if you have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to try to help out as many people as we can. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we do have giveaways at the channel. Our current one is for an Xbox Series S. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on December 31st of this year. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, I want to take a moment as always and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel, and remind you, like I said earlier, if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor, take that quick second and hit that like button. You can feel free to subscribe or join as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
We need to find out what happened to the team that went to try to repair the main shade node. The federal shelter should be beneath your current position. Find a way down there, but proceed with caution.